We are currently driving home with the trailer, as you can see behind us, from our trip to Paso Robles. Overall, it was absolutely incredible. We had a great time, and it was just us two, so it was nice to get a little away for a little bit. Of course, we missed our kids, Tyler and Chloe, dearly, but FaceTime always helps, and we were able to really check out the region, check out our RV resort for the first time, because we wanted to know if it would be kid-friendly. I feel like a lot of times when people think about traveling to Paso, they only think of what it's most well known for, I'd say, which is its wine. And while that's absolutely true, it's also a great place to take your whole family, and it's a place that non-drinkers can have fun as well. So we're going to dive into some places that really stood out to us, starting with number one, Dow Vineyards. Dow was our actually first stop on Friday night. They truly rolled out the red carpet and gave us all-star treatment. We had, starting with food, the meze platter, which was phenomenal. What was your favorite part?
I think I like the different types of cured meats that they had on it.
So they had like a variety of different meats. They had obviously cheeses, dried fruit. It was, these dips were my favorite actually. One of them was like a spicy feta, just over the top. Wonderful. And as we were eating, yes, it was chilly up there because Dow does provide the best views, I would argue, out of anywhere you can go and eat and drink wine and just look out in California, I will say. So we were eating and looking out and just having a really nice time. We were then able to go down in the Polaris to their barrel room. And if you follow us on Instagram at Castro's on the Go, you will find the photo of me holding my glass of wine and about to drink the Soul of a Lion, which is their absolute best wine, straight out of the barrel. So we had just a unique experience overall. Dow, if I can't get to you every time in Paso, I don't know what I'll do, because Dow is just a must.
So I think the second place that we really enjoyed, we went to dinner on the second night we were there at La Cosecha. And it's like a Spanish tapas type of place. Melissa had the burrata toast, which was really fantastic. I had the seafood paella, which was delicious. I do have to say we had to sit outside. We had a very late reservation because this was kind of a last-minute trip, so it was very cold. But all in all, they did have heaters, and the food was excellent.
So the third place we wanted to share with you is Justin. You've probably seen Justin wine, just like Dow, in the stores, but not the wine that are served on site at their vineyards. So we were able to sit outside everywhere. I mean, we were outside because of COVID and restrictions that are in place, but it's also really nice because it was great weather that weekend. So we were outside and had lunch there. I actually had the burger, which was beyond phenomenal. They serve it with a bacon jam and like caramelized onions. I mean, it's super high-end burger, really excellent quality meat. And their red wines, again, are just, of course, phenomenal. But so is their service. Just everything about Justin seemed really nice. Also, while it was just the two of us and we didn't have our kids to consider, we're always looking at places in terms of, through the lens, is it family friendly or not? And there were other people we were actually talking with who had their kids there, and Justin is definitely a high-end winery, and they were not snooty about it at all. So it's definitely a place that we would feel comfortable bringing our little ones, for sure.
So speaking of that, another place we went was called Tooth and Nail Winery, which was very, very family-friendly, very dog-friendly, very cool vibe all the way around. They had live music. They have like a moat going around. It's like a castle theme. They have a moat going around. A very, very beautiful property. Again, a little bit limited food menu, but it was pretty good. We had the charcuterie board there as well, which was very good. And again, I think it's a very good place to take your family.
Don't forget about my favorite, the bacon skewers.
That's right, the bacon skewers. That was actually very good. I hope we can figure out a way to make those at home.
So yeah, I was just gonna say my kind of next aspiration in the kitchen at home is going to be to figure out these bacon skewers. But what I do know they had on them was maple syrup and brown sugar and possibly cayenne pepper because there was definitely a kick, but they were just absolutely delicious. Another picture that I know that I posted on our Instagram. And then the last place that we wanted to highlight was Zenaida Cellars. So Zenaida is actually next to, I want to say, Tooth and Nail, or on that same street. So if you do go to those two places, you'll want to go to them probably on the same day, maybe back to back if you can. And I wanted to throw Zenaida in there because I had actually visited Zenaida before when I went in November with my girlfriends, and we had a great experience with Greg. So Greg was also our sommelier and server, and he really just showed us a good time there. Zenaida is also primarily outdoors. What's unique about this property is that they do allow for their wine members or club members to stay, I think it's once a year or just once in one of their, I think it's just once, in one of their studios up top. So you can actually stay on property for free the first time if you're a member there. I've yet to do that, but definitely on my list. So again, outdoors, and while they didn't have this offered this time, while I was back there in November, they did have an amazing food truck on site, which you could order lunch from. And so that's really cool as well. Like I said, when you're traveling to Paso and you're with either people who are underage, people who don't drink, or people who just don't prefer wine, you don't want to leave them out of your trip, and you don't want to make them kind of go through the day with you and, where the focus is only wine. So we're always looking for what else do these wineries have to offer. And so we're always looking at, is there live music? How is the property? How are the views? How's the service? Is it family and dog friendly? And how is the food? So all of these places that we're talking about offer all of those things, and that's why they make it on the list of must-sees in Paso. So lastly, as mentioned earlier, we're going to talk about where we stayed. So last time I was in Paso in November, my girlfriends and I stayed at Allegretto, and Allegretto is a beautiful resort, also offers their own wines, restaurant, beautiful site. Well, as you know, Peter and I just recently purchased our travel trailer. Yes, I am the one driving it right now. Girls can tow too. So Allegretto is wonderful for a hotel stay. That would definitely be my number one recommendation. But like I said, we have our trailers. So I did some research into, nicest campgrounds or RV resorts in the Paso area, and Paso Robles came up almost always. Well, I was bummed to find out online when I went to make reservations, as Peter mentioned, it was a last minute trip. I was bummed to find out that they were sold out. Well, I thought, you know what? I think I'm just going to give them a call. And their customer service right away, I could tell the person I talked to was super friendly. Even though they were sold out, they seemed to have one spot that was like penciled in. So I was able to secure that site for us. We stayed at site 120. It backed up to, what would you say? Just like a slopey kind of hill. Best parts of the resort, number one, we didn't get to take advantage of all of them, but the amenities that they offer include, number one, a dog park, 2 dog parks actually, I think, 2 pools. The pools were heated this time, and I think because they're so massive that they were able to get away with having people swim. Their hot tubs were not available, but they have 2 pools, hot tubs. They usually do outdoor wine tasting as well as a restaurant. I think it's the Farmhouse Bistro. So just a lot of cool things on site that you can go to. Also, the sites I think are almost all extremely level and well manicured. So they all have like a paved area that you can stay on, which is great. And what else would you say you loved about Paso Robles?
I thought it was just very clean. The sites were level. It was easy to get in and out. All in all, I think it was really pretty.
Oh, and lastly, super secure. So we had to have our tag displayed the whole time, but each time we came, obviously we were out and very busy this trip. So each time we came in and out of the resort, even when it was really late at night, they wanted to make sure they knew who we were, that we were staying there. So I think that's definitely a plus. We will be staying at Paso Robles every time we are up there in our trailer. And by the way, if you don't have a trailer or or an RV, and you are maybe you do have a trailer or RV and are staying with people or want to stay with people that don't, they actually have these little, they're almost like tiny homes. I think they refer to them on their website as cottages.
Yeah.
And so you can have people stay with you at that beautiful resort, and even though your group might be split up between RV and not RV. So I think that concludes our video, but we just had the most fabulous time in Paso. We will be back soon, and I hope our tips were helpful. Thanks, friends.
Bye.